brothers and sisters, family, generals. Man, we are back. You always know to conquer another day, another year, and another decade. We stay strong out here. We let nothing stop us. Come too far, come through many fires. That's brothers, sisters, and family. And we just keep on thriving, and do what we always do, the right thing. That's why I salute thy ancestors, brother or sister, man, that were warriors and did everything they had to do, no matter what. It's just something in them that kept them going, and that's the kind of energy we gotta have, the spirit of Shaka Zulu. And welcome to another edition of EBX Discussion. And I want to get right on into it, but I like to bless those with platforms that's doing their thing. Bless my family, current subscribers, new subscribers, anybody that view, may that great divine bless those in their lives that's striving to do the right thing, I bring up every now and then, it's not always about being this deep spiritual person. Just have a right heart. You'll be amazed the things that will come, because that is the attraction of the law of nature. And we ain't talking about man's law. We talking about that great divine's law, which is principle, not law. Because principles allow you to make your own decision and see life for what it is. Laws are put in place most of the times, quote unquote, quotation marks, is to protect those who make the laws. But we ain't gonna get too far into that, because we in warrior mode. We generals out here. And it is time, brothers and sisters, and a lot of us feel this in our spirit. It is time to diminish the enemy within. Diminish. I was going to title it destroy. No, we need to diminish it. Make it dissipate and disappear. I always say rebuke it out into the universe, because there's no gravity in the universe. So, and it can't go nowhere up there, right? Like that movie Superman. Y'all remember the three villains? I think it was Superman. It was either 2 or 3. It might have been 3, where the 3 villains was trapped in space in the mirror. So that's where negative energy needs to go, because we can't just rebuke it. This is just my take on righteous spirituality. And, this, I'm talking about, we slicing off religion. We're not talking about religion. We're talking about mind, body, and soul, things that's in our subconscious, that God spirit, deep, super deep within, that divine spirit, stuff we tap into to allow us to see amazing things that some that are not in that space don't see. So like I said, that example I just used, that's where negative energy can go. That's where we rebuke it to, because we need generals right around us, brothers or sisters, young or old. So we rebuke it. Any thought we have within ourselves, because y'all know I talk about the righteous ripple effect. What's the opposite? Toxic. So even so much as a thought, if it's toxic, we don't need it in our system. Check it, analyze it, get rid of it. Small, if it's toxic, small can fester into big. So, and this has come through what? Experiences, maybe stuff we've learned in books. Any tool that help us to grow and be better and deflect wrong things we don't need in our mind, body, and soul, and in our psyche. See, hear, and feel. Man, all those have to be in alignment. There's no if, ands, or buts. No. Even though, like, again, we're in this human body, we're going to do things, but that's why we study the human body, right? I've said that many times, but when you've lived it, a lot of us teachers, you might hear a lot of us, a lot of teachers that speak, you might hear us say certain things from time to time, because, maybe the same thing over, sometimes in every other podcast or video, because sometimes those are things that like really helped us, and we just can't forget those vital times, those choices we made that catapulted us into the position that we are in now. A lot of us, amongst the ones that are not, and, you have to have that fire deep within. For one, you can't be in no toxic environment, period. There's no way around that. In order to better oneself, you have to get out of it. You can't be in a toxic environment, relationship, friendship, none of that, even with yourself. That's why I got this like shadow sister and a shadow brother, with the cape hanging, even though we can be a hero without the cape. As I said in the song, we are great. It's no mistake. Melanated heroes with no cape. Real talk. Because a true hero is one who knows oneself to the pit of the soul and want to help others, brother or sister, family member. That's a true hero, one that don't have to be seen in the public. Now, there are those that do have platforms that are righteous. I'm not talking about the righteous brothers and sisters now, not because they are. I'm connected to them, so I'm not talking about. We know who we are, so we don't have to pick and choose and and try to see who's what. We'll know. As I've said, like again, we in them right circles, we'll know who the right ones are. So you know who you are. But like I said, if we're not in those toxic environments and we are trying to better oneself, we will see things and we will come out of whatever we need to come out of. And I have to say, support does help when you have those that support you, in our circles, brother, sister, family member. It's wonderful, And knowing oneself and being able to know oneself, and you got yourself in check, and then you feel confident enough to teach another, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing, And that's a true hero too. When one takes the time to study their own selves, and not just, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm just just hypothetical. I'm not saying no one does that. I'm just giving an example, because when I first began doing this, as I've said many times, I had to check oneself. I had to catch myself that I don't think I know everything. And just once I got past that, and a lot of us, when we reach that level, that's when we balance ourselves out. That's when we kind of smooth things out and we take things as they come. But of course it takes, practicing, studying, we get a little more mature. But again, you got to stay away from toxic shit to see intelligent things and become more aware and all those great things that build a great brother and sister. Man, it's just righteous. I mean, like I say, even in the midst of our mistakes and things we do, everything is a lesson. It just depends on how we look at it, But overall, man, it is time to diminish that enemy within. I'm talking about that enemy that a lot of us either carry or have carried, because that's you can forget about these things on the outside, a toxic person, place, or thing. We better study that enemy deep within. And how did I come to? And you want to know how I came to this topic, and many others come to topics similar like this, because one, some of us know what it's like to give in to that enemy deep within, and I'm gonna give some deeper examples about that. I probably kind of gave before, but I think it's important. But a lot of us, we know. Well, not know, but we either seen it or came close or, or have experienced it, studied it, researched it, whatever. Or we see it in the media, like I say, we in lesson times, learning time, and exposure time. So, but don't use that as a reason to be right. Just be right anyway. You know what I'm saying? Even when we're by ourselves, just do the right thing. I'm not saying, we can't do what we want to do in our own homes, but it's all about energy, brothers and sisters. And I know we hear energy a lot, but when you have lived it, when you experience it, energy is important. And we hear it a lot, but it's something that always existed. It's just that before social media and really people really got to researching and looking up things, just wasn't aware of how important energy was. So that's why we hear it so much, because a lot of us that have reached a level of, wisdom or intelligence, we are beginning to see and feel and know how important energy is. So that's why you hear so many of us speak on it, but we have to take it serious, not just speak on it because it sounds smooth or we're trying to sound intelligent. No, we have to live it, experience it, because experience is the best teacher. I've said that before too. Life is the best freaking teacher. It really is, because you really do know. So, and as I learned from a great brother, we have to know, you got to watch that word believe. And if you want to know why we should know and not just believe, again, look at social media. Look at the individuals that's in the media, that's all over, that's plastered over everybody's banner. They believed, and look where it got them. And many others like them, that's it ain't got to be a celebrity, but a lot of things that's coming out on the celebrities, it's things that a lot of us been speculating and knowing for years. That's why I say I've been over the celeb thing. I've seen so many signs and you've heard people say some. I like the smartest people who like expose and talk about celebs. A lot of them, the ones I've heard one sister say, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna say too much now. I'm gonna wait and play and let it play out. That is very wise, because not everybody can do that. They'll see something. I'm talking about the ones that's like hungry for attention and they don't care and not trying to teach. People like that, unfortunately, there are those like that. But like this sister said, she's very known in the media, and very strong sister. I ain't gonna say her name, but she's very strong. She's exposed a lot of artists. And she said she gonna wait and see how it play out. And look now, holy crap. And everything she said is coming to pass now, as well as many other brothers and sisters that have spoke on these things that are being exposed. And it ain't just celebs. It's a lot of things surrounding the celebs and politics and anyone in that. It goes from basketball to cooking networks to TV shows to movies, anything within that vicinity. I'm talking industry, I'm talking music, movies, cooking shows, anything to do with TV industry, anything to do with that, Hollywood, anything within that vicinity have been studied over and under, and man, so things that are happening now, some of it is a shock and some of it is not, it's just the shocking part is everything that, a lot of us have researched and seen over the years. The way it came out, it's like even worse than what a lot of us have anticipated, allegedly, because you got to be careful too, because you got to see what's distractions, because that's a part of diminishing that enemy within too. That's why you always hear me say, when I say the seven senses, mind, body, and soul, see, hear, and feel, that seeing, hearing, and feeling thing, that's what can get us. That seeing, hearing, and feeling. And that's what entities of the world that know melanated brothers and sisters better than we know ourselves, they how can I put it? They manipulate what we see, hear, and feel. And what happens when our mind is being taken control of and we're not even controlling it? What will follow, brothers and sisters? Our body. So again, it is time. Take the time, and it is time to diminish that enemy deep within. Immediately. Anything we feel wrong within our psyche that's not right, deal with it right then and there. Whether it's a thought that enters our mind from the media or just out of thin air, something we see in another individual, person, place, or thing, and it's something we get from them. That energy thing, it is real, even though we hear it a lot. A lot of us have felt this though. And again, and I think all melanated brothers and sisters, we kind of have that gift of feeling energy of others, but some of us are aware of it. Some of us are not. It's natural to some, but it's weird to others, but once you get in alignment and you know what it is and you're able to understand what energy is and how to receive it and why certain individuals behave in a certain way. When we do all these things, man, we will diminish that enemy deep within, because toxic person, place, or thing, or individuals around us can almost, I want to say, create or try to create an enemy within, because they have an enemy within them, because that's the only way in this world. I don't care what we do, how much money we got, how much influence we have. Of course, we all know this. But if we don't, and we all know this, like I say, but just giving one's perspectives, hey, you don't conquer that enemy within, you're fucked. I'm telling you. I'm talking about depending on what kind of enemy it is. But the enemy is an enemy, whether small or big. We're talking about within now. We can't even begin to fight anything, and I do mean anything, on the outside if we ain't dealing with that shit on the inside. Again, just look at the media. Look abroad. So that's why I got this on my banner. I got it in a shadow version because that's what it is like, enemy deep within. There is no face, because an enemy doesn't show itself. It hides. And I want to go back to that example I was going to give. I've gave it before, but it's about the Venom effect. The movie Spider-Man always used that. That's what it's like. I'm talking about, especially if it's something rotten to the core, like really bad and toxic, and it's like really fucked up. And individuals are hiding this. I always say, when we harbor evil deep within, it will come out eventually. You can't hide it. And like I said, I would use that example of Venom. That's what it's like, harboring evil shit deep within, wherever it came from. Whether it's a thought, feeling, it sticks to you. And remember in the movie how hard it was for Spider-Man to break free from that shit. And that's what it's like when you're looking at porn and you just indulging in nasty, toxic shit. Whatever it is, ain't always gotta be lusting. Anything of a toxic nature that's evil. Anything. Because it doesn't matter what it is when it's toxic and evil. And the longer you indulge in it, the harder it is to pry off. I'm telling you. And if you never unlock or unengage, I guess you'll be forever stuck in it. Again, just look in the media. We're seeing the results of a toxic life. So that's why we must, it is time to diminish that enemy deep within. So then once we got that conquered and we're making right choices and we're helping brothers and sisters, young or old, and we got ourselves together, then we can conquer this shit on the outside. Because this distraction is coming at every freaking angle. So that's why I say I rebuke any negative thought within myself and anyone else. Protect them too. Family, children, significant other. Well, those are my family, brothers and sisters in the world or online. Y'all know I always send out that great divine protection for ourselves, from ourselves. Like I said in this title, for ourselves, so we don't become our own worst enemy. Because I'm telling you, that's the worst thing besides losing somebody and, in a tragedy and, losing your life. Besides that, the worst thing one can do is be their own enemy. Because you never know what kind of potential was out there, what great brother we might be connected to or sister. And then people just, fuck it all up, So don't do that. We have a correction in ourselves. Fix it, change it the best way we can. No, change it. It has to be. If it's toxic, you better deal with it or it will deal with you. So, again, I don't ever want to come off like I'm perfect. I go through challenges just like everyone else and have been through challenges. So, that's what we do. That's why we got so many reachers and teachers out here, as I always say, and in our families, because we know what it's like to, if some of us had, I've lived in a low vibration. I know what it's like. I'm just going to say that. I don't want to project that on no one else because everyone's life is different. But those that have not, always been aware, we know. So when you, like I say, when you have practiced on oneself for so freaking long, it becomes second nature. It's nothing, and you want to see it in others, especially in your loved ones, your children, So I call down great protection from that great divine for my family, my children, brothers and sisters that just want to do right. Gotta stay in there. And please, the best way we can, stay the fuck out of toxic situations. Especially if we got children, people that care about us, like I say, the flesh is not shit. Never listen to that flesh. Because you never know what that great divine just, has set up for us, just waiting on us, Never say you waiting on God. I'm saying using God as an example. Never say that, I don't like when people say that. No, God waiting on us. We just got to get our shit together. Real talk. And once we do, we'll flourish, Start off small, end up big. Righteously, So that was my message I wanted to give. And this was inspired from my son, Lord Lamont. He's going through some challenges right now. And I'm not going to get too deep into detail, but probably won't be doing podcasts for a while. He's with his mother at the moment, he's going through some challenges and, so I won't get too deep into it, but salute, much love to my son, Lord Lamont. And we will be hooking up and linking up. I'll be talking to him later on and keep you guys posted on how he's doing. And as things go along, then I'll give a little detail how he's doing. He's kind of dealing with a challenge right now. So that's why I say that's what inspired me to come with this title. Anyone going through a struggle, especially if you connected to a family, that is strong. It's in your DNA. I'm telling you. Some of us have it in our DNA. We have that fight in us, It's the environment a lot of times. Again, look at the media. Some of these celebs. I bet if none of them were in these toxic ass environments, they wouldn't be going through the shit they're going through now. Real talk. So it's all about how we are, how we live our lives. And again, brothers and sisters, I don't care what it takes. By any means necessary. Thank you, Malcolm X, and to my family, brothers and sisters, my children, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you please keep that ultimate peace and do whatever we got to do to diminish the enemy deep within. Please. I mean, we are generals. We got to, because, man, so we can have that, have that foundation ready for the next generation. So I call down protection on those who's having a little challenge. Stay in there. May that great divine bliss and bless you. And again, it is time. It's time, brothers and sisters. It's time. Melanated brothers and sisters. Man, diminish the enemy within. Immediately. Please. Salute. One love. Family, brothers and sisters. Salute.